Well, good evening, Digital Ramblers. I'm JJ Cannon.
And I'm Chris Gamble. Together we are the Digital Ramble. We have a special episode for you from the CEDIA EXPO 2025, sunset over Denver. Special episode which is essentially a recap of the class that JJ and I taught at the Expo. A fun, well-attended class with great feedback from the participants. But we'd like to open up the class to all you guys listening and watching, and we're going to break down what we spoke about, talk about each of the segments, the pillars that we covered, and the title of the class was the 5-Brand Blueprint.
And, we had a great session. We had a lot of guys and a lady show up, actually several ladies that show up, and we really appreciate y'all taking the time to come by and listen to what Chris and I have explored and discovered to find some success, not only as business owners but with our clients, and then also with our employees. And so we found it to be very impactful. And as we got back to where we're staying, and we're trying to unpack our thoughts and the experience that we're having out on the showroom floor, and we've come across some people that have said, hey, record something for us so that we can sharing that experience. And so we're going to try to do that. But as we were unpacking, Chris discovered something, in our exploration of our pillars and unpacking our 5-brand blueprint.
Yeah, so the 5 brands should be choices you make to cover the 5 pillars of smart home or home tech. And the 5 pillars we recognized, between the two of us, we've identified that those 5 pillars we feel are security, communication, environment, network, and entertainment. When you strip off the front letter on each of those, it gives you the word scene. We feel that you now have this scene that you can set for your business, that you can implement in homes. By choosing the right brands, you can set the scene and you can be seen.
And by following that 5 scene steps, you can build a very impactful solution for your clients. And by listening to whatever their challenges are, you can provide solutions for them, but also make sure that they're familiar with the entire scene of provisions that we're able to provide them as smart home professionals.
Okay, so let's get into it. The first pillar for us is security. That is the S in scene. Security covers the obvious things. That would be your CCTV security cameras. That would be your intruder alarm system. A big favorite of JJ's is also the use of lighting for security.
Lighting is a very purposeful use, and we saw a lot of examples of perimeter lighting that can be programmed for a variety of different tasks, and you can set scenes for security as well as for holidays, and lighting is a big part of that. But also cybersecurity is a huge part of what a smart home professional can provide.
That's right. So be looking for that brand that covers the camera systems, the access control, the intruder alarm, security lighting, and some of that cyber attack protection that, we'll talk about that on the networking side, but it's just one of those essential things that you're going to be asked for and you're going to need to have knowledge on.
And as you're considering this scene that you're building of brands, you're really wanting to consider how they work together, how they collaborate. Pretty much we like out of the box, and finding manufacturers and brands that work really well, that have really nice design interfaces, and most important, if you have some challenges, their team of support is available for you when you need it.
Yeah, it's vital that they communicate well together. So with communication, choose brands that properly communicate when you have physical button presses on a remote control. Issue voice commands with your favorite assistant. That's all communication.
When we talk about communication, it's in a unique way. We feel that automation and integration and control are words that have been used, and really what we're doing is communicating with the devices in our environment.
Yeah, so identify the brand that's going to give you your your app control, your remote control, and your voice control of your system.
Communication can be done with like your phone or with a tablet or a wand-style remote. Our favorite right now is I like a verbal digital assistant, and just wouldn't it be nice to communicate with your devices with your voice? And we do it pretty regularly, with our voices whenever we're texting and things like that. But we can integrate a home to be very user-friendly, particularly with people that are, aging in homes, those that are challenged in certain areas, or might have large format properties. We found voice to be very user-friendly and impactful, especially when creating scenes for your home.
And those communication products or choices could already be in your home. You may have a voice assistant already. Try and maximize the use of that. Your smartphone, have you got the right apps on there? Have you even got the app on there that can control your home? So that's something to choose. It could be choices you've already made, and you just need to get the best out of the tech you already have.
Chris, next we are going to move into environment. And with environment, when we're talking about environment, it's for lighting. And lighting is setting for tasks. And so we talked about using it for security, for maybe the perimeter of your home, maybe in the landscape or your pathways up into your residence or into your internal space, for controlling that type of environment.
And that's your artificial lighting and your natural lighting. That's where you would think of a lighting control system controlling your chandeliers, your pendant fixtures, your downlights, your LED strips, but also the natural light flooding into a home with your roller shades, your drapery. You want to change the mood of a room, you want some blackout, you lower those shades for watching TV. So those are methods to manage the light in the home. The other environment would be the temperature, the climate in the home. That's where you choose a product that gives you that thermostat control, zonal control for heating, cooling, and the hot water.
The other environment area that is for consideration is the air quality for your environment. And there are a lot of tools that are available to clean the air filters that it's flowing through your HVAC, as well as purifiers that you can put into your open space.
Yeah, and with any choice in that category environment, also review the energy aspect of that. Choose an energy efficient, energy friendly environmental system.
Yeah. All right, next, moving into our favorite one.
Yeah. The foundation of the modern home is the home network.
Yeah. Anything that we do in a smart home is built on the foundation of a good quality network. And infrastructure of a network is crucial. Whether that's hardwired or wireless, having a good quality network is mandatory.
Yeah, you need to choose that reliable internet provider. You need to identify that reliable modem, router, the hub of the house. And then if you've got the hard wiring, utilize it. Hardwire those wireless access points. If you don't have that advantage, look at a great mesh Wi-Fi system that can cover all those dead spots around the home.
Also in network, you can do management of whatever content is on that network. You can also set up security aspects do on a good quality network.
Remember, the network is what's delivering all those signals. So if you're trying to stream 4K video in 2 or 3 rooms, if that network doesn't have the capacity to handle that traffic, you're going to have a very slow, buffered night in front of the big screen.
The design of that network is crucial.
So the final one of the scene is entertainment. Quite fitting, really, the entertainment scene. That is your audio system, your TV system. It gets you in the right mood when you can queue up that playlist of music, or play that favorite album track, press play on that movie, or sit down to watch an evening of sport.
I think entertainment is really having a revitalization, and not in the traditional sense. I think people are really appreciating displays as works of art and being able to put family photos on televisions. One of my favorite things to do with my family is to cast a streaming service onto our television and sing along, with the lyrics.
Yeah.
And It's something that we do on a regular basis, and it's just so much fun to do with the family, and especially when friends come over too, you know.
Well, if friends come over, that entertainment needs to not just be indoors, it's outdoors as well. Think of those landscape music systems, those big screens by the pool, those outdoor mounted TVs in the outdoor kitchen areas, the terrace areas. Think about entertainment reaching all corners of your property.
Yeah, so after coming back and discussing how the session went and talking about the brand blueprint, we discovered the scene and why the scene works. Go ahead, Gamble. Give it to 'em.
It's a strategy. It's a master plan. It's a blueprint. It's trying to cover the 5 key pillars with brands that you become skilled with, brands that if you're the user of it, you have reliability, you have ease of use, you have the ability of any age group to interact with the home. So choosing those brands brings efficiency, brings reliability and expandability. The brands that we use and we know work for us in our businesses, they allow us to expand from one room to multi-room, from one system and then adding a second system, a second brand, so that the environment works seamlessly with the entertainment. So that crossover between the pillars is only really works well when you have the right brands chosen.
When you set the scene correctly, you have a return on your investment. And it's a return on the investment on everybody's part. Having devices that communicate reliably with each other allows a client to utilize their system with its maximum impact. It allows the business owner to continue to deliver good quality solutions to the next client. It allows the technician to have peace of mind of quality solutions with devices that he's familiar with on a regular basis.
One of the key messages stuck with one of the class attendees in particular was simplification is the new integration. That is where these brands that you're choosing, they're integrating straight out of the box. No installer intervention, nothing that's going to expire or be removed. You're talking about products and brands that are working with each other at the highest level, at manufacturing level. In the cloud or between the processors, the hubs that they've got, they're talking with each other. So you're simplifying the experience, you're simplifying the installation, but you're maximizing the experience.
And depending on what your needs are for a homeowner, one of my favorite takeaways is it allows the homeowner to be free to make their own choices, their own scenes, you know, with these types of designs that we're talking about.
So that covers the 5 pillars, the 5 brand blueprint. I hope it's taking you a little bit behind the scenes of the class that we presented and the message we were trying to convey. A lot of it was to relieve pain that we felt in the past as company owners, service providers to historic systems that were giving pain to the homeowners and probably pain to the manufacturers of some of these products, where older systems, older tech haven't moved with the times. We feel that this blueprint has moved with the times, has embraced the modern lifestyle. So we would love your feedback on that. We would love to hear if there's brands that you know that could fit into this framework that can, you know, that could and create this impactful home technology environment.
Absolutely. Friends, thank you so much for your time, for tuning in and really encouraging us. I mean, it was so encouraging out there to hear from all the people that listen and watch and share the Digital Ramble Show, because we work really hard on it, trying to be authentic and purposeful and doing things for the good of all. And so thanks. So we really appreciate that positive feedback. And for those that are new to the show, check us out. We have a website, thedigitalrambleshow.com. You can check us out on YouTube or Facebook, and where else are we at? Yes,
all the major podcast platforms. Spotify's a good one because you get the video and the audio, so you can watch along, and then obviously the other video platforms. So if you can send those likes, those thumbs up, the hearts, do all that. If you can also send some heat, JJ's feeling the cold up here.
I took my socks off and I'm like, ooh.
If you can send some warmth to the Digital Ramble as we escape the roof terrace, and we're hoping we're not locked in. We just heard the doors shut.
Hey, one other place, if you want to stay in contact with us, like really in contact with us, check us out on our Telegram channel, Digital Ramble Show. We post all kinds of cool content that we think is engaging and, you know, up and current and definitely technology forward, and we do a lot of engaging there on Telegram, so check us out on that.
Okay guys, peace out from CEDIA EXPO at Denver.
Yeah, if you find a Home Tech Pro, as is scenes figured out. All right, friends, if you don't know, find a Home Tech Pro.